The first time my dog barked at the empty hallway, I thought he was scared of a mouse. The second time, I thought he was sick. But on the third night, I realized something. He wasn't barking at something he could see. He was barking at something that was getting closer. My name is Daniel, and this happened in the house I rented last winter. It was a small, quiet house at the end of a dead-end road. There were only 3 other houses nearby. No traffic, no neighbors walking around at night, just trees, wind, and an old wooden fence surrounding the property. My dog, Max, was a 6-year-old German Shepherd. He had always been calm. If someone walked past the house, he'd barely react. If a stranger came to the door, he'd bark once or twice. That's it. But one night, everything changed. It was around 2:13 in the morning when I woke up to Max barking. Not normal barking. It was low, deep, and aggressive. I opened my bedroom door. Max was standing at the end of the hallway. His body was completely still. His ears were pointed forward. His eyes were locked in the darkness near the living room. I couldn't see anything. Max? He didn't move. He just kept staring. Then he barked again. I turned on the hallway light. Nothing. The living room was empty. The front door was locked. The windows were closed. I checked every room. Nothing. Eventually, Max followed me back to the bedroom. I laughed it off. I figured he'd heard something outside. Then I went back to sleep. The next night, it happened again. Same time, 2:13 a.m. I woke up to Max barking from the hallway, but this time he wasn't looking toward the living room. He was looking directly at my bedroom door. I was confused. The door was open. There was nothing there. Max, come here. He took one step toward me, then stopped. His eyes moved slowly from the doorway to the empty space beside me. And then he backed away, slowly. I remember whispering, "What are you looking at?" Max suddenly growled, not at the doorway, not at the hallway, at the empty space beside me. I turned on all the lights in the room. Nothing. I checked underneath the bed. Nothing. I even checked the closet. Nothing. But Max refused to come inside. He stayed in the hallway until sunrise. The following morning, I called my sister. I told her what happened. She laughed. She said dogs sometimes react to sounds humans can't hear. That explanation made sense, so I ignored it. Until the third night. At exactly 2:13 a.m., Max started barking again. But this time, I was already awake. I was lying in bed, watching him through the darkness. He was standing in the hallway, staring at the same empty spot. Then something happened that I still can't explain. Max slowly lowered his head and began following something with his eyes. Whatever he was watching was moving. It seemed to move from the hallway toward my bedroom. Max took a step backward, then another, until whatever he was watching reached the doorway. And then Max jumped onto my bed. He was shaking. I had never seen that dog afraid of anything before. Then I heard it. A soft creaking sound from the floor beside my bed. I froze. The floorboards creaked again. But there was nobody there. I slowly reached for my phone. The screen lit up my room. Nothing. Then I noticed something on the floor. A small, wet footprint. Right beside my bed. There was another one, a few inches away. Then another. Then they formed a trail from my bedroom into the hallway. I didn't sleep that night. The next morning, I checked the entire house. There was no water leak, no broken window, nothing that could explain the footprints. So I started sleeping with the bedroom door locked, and for several nights, Max stopped barking. Until one night, I heard scratching. 3 slow scratches from the other side of my bedroom door. Scratch, scratch, scratch. Max was sitting beside me, staring at the door. He wasn't barking anymore. He was whimpering. Then I heard something whisper, very quietly, "Max." My blood went cold because the voice sounded exactly like mine. I didn't move. I didn't breathe. Then the voice came again. "Max." This time, Max growled at the door, and something on the other side of the door slowly dragged its fingers down the wood. I grabbed Max. We stayed in that room until morning. The next day, I packed my car. I didn't care about the rent. I didn't care about the furniture. I just wanted to leave. Before I left, I checked the security camera I had installed outside the house. There was footage from the previous night. At 2:13 a.m., the camera showed my front door. Nothing happened for almost a minute. Then Max appeared in the hallway. He was barking at something inside the house. But the strange part wasn't what Max was doing. It was what happened behind him. For less than 2 seconds, a dark shape appeared at the end of the hallway. It looked like a person, tall, thin, completely motionless. Then it disappeared. I watched the footage again and again. And then I noticed something I hadn't seen before. The figure wasn't facing Max. It was facing the camera. I left that house that afternoon.